Hello and welcome to the Rhythm Factory. I'm Eddie C, and together with my co-host Peter D, we're going to bring you in touch with people in and around the music business. This is the podcast that takes you up close and personal.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Rhythm Factory podcast. My name is Eddie C, and to my right is my colleague and co-host Mr. Peter D. Today's special guest is the one and only Mr. Rosa Happel. Rosa is a very well-known session musician, especially in the Amsterdam area, and we were just talking with each other. We realized that you used to, for a while, live in Antwerp as well. I forgot all about that, but with me living in Antwerp nowadays. But anyway, we're going to ask you a few questions, man, to see how it's good to see you after such a long time, man. You know, it's about time we start playing together again. It's been it's actually been a couple of years now. Yeah. But
I don't know. I mean, probably 15.
Wow. No, actually, we did a gig. We did a gig together a couple of years ago for a birthday party.
Oh yeah.
Remember that was in Amsterdam. That was in Amsterdam.
That was in Amsterdam.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a little kind of, but it was kind of a strange gig because
I don't know. I think the guy was loaded.
Yeah.
And his daughter was 16.
Yeah, having a sweet 16.
That was what it was.
Yeah,
and he just wanted to have a smashing band and a smashing percussion player. So we called up you, right?
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, you know, like getting back to to our first question, you know, you've been busy in the industry for a long time. I mean, I remember. I got a few years on you, but because I remember back in the days of Utrecht when you were, you know, your very young days at that time, coming to check us out playing with Theo de Young and a few of the other guys there at the time. And Carl, I think Carl Boulay was playing with us a lot at that time as well.
Yep.
And so that was when I heard you singing, and I thought, man, this guy's got it going on, got it happening. Fantastic vocals, great keys and stuff. But all those years, you know, you worked with Candy, you've been working, you toured with Rosa King, you played with Treintje van Oosterhout, and the whole Amsterdam scene. And, you know, until today, I'm still waiting for that solo project to come out.
I know.
Every time I see you, I'm always asking you, when this is coming, man?
Yeah. Well, what it is, it's a time question, you know. I'm like you said, I'm doing sessions all over the place. But Amsterdam is my main.
That's the home base.
The home base,
right?
And since I've been doing so many sessions and working in studios and stuff, there's hardly any time left to like really concentrate on my own stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a pity sometimes. But I do. Make this little I think you have a notation. What is this thing?
On my recorder.
Yeah, but it's like a memo thing, right? And I got a memo recorder at home,
right?
And I just sometimes put some ideas together, which I have lots of right now.
Yeah.
So there will be a time
that you'll be able to empty that box and cut them on tracks.
What I do right now is I try to get as many. The people I worked with during the years, I just want to call them up one day and tell them like, okay, I'm going to start writing my own CD, and then I really want to,
Well, let me know, man.
Oh yeah, you're going to be on that CD too, man.
We'll be waiting anxiously.
Eddie C song. See it coming up. Eddie C, what's it gonna be?
All right, bro.
Yeah, one of those songs. No, but I mean, I'm working on it. Yeah.
Great, because that's good. You should be.
But I told you that like 10 years ago too.
You told me that.
Probably next year. Probably next year. So
I know. Well, get it out there. Whenever it's coming, it will be definitely welcome, and we'll do our part here in the show to get you plugged as much as we can.
Right.
That's it.
Cool.
Like you said, Roger, Amsterdam is mainly your home base. You do a lot of sessions there. You play every week in Club Dauphine, I believe. Can you tell us a bit more about the Amsterdam music scene, and why do you choose to be in the Amsterdam music scene, and what is the difference between other scenes in the Benelux?
Well, first of all, I was born and raised in Amsterdam, so I mean, for me it was no big deal to go somewhere else. I started off in a small club called the Malou Malo. I don't know if you still remember that. Malou Malo was...
I played there once.
You did?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, but it changed because Malou Malo was on but anyway, it was on the Lijnmansgracht. And they had blues sessions over there, like real blues sessions. And there was a piano over there, and my parents, you know, they said, "Oh man, I know you want to play somewhere, but you know, you should join a jam session." I didn't even know what a jam session was. I was like 17, I think by that time, 17 or 18, and I said okay. And so they took me to that place, Malou Malo, and I mean, they didn't push me on the stage, but I mean, I just felt like, oh man, I know this. I know this music. This is what I hear every day. My father used to be a record director from a record company.
Right.
So and so I had to listen to all those songs. I mean, and Rob Hoeke and Rob Agerbeek. These were like, you know, real talented boogie woogie masters.
Right.
So I heard the music. At the Malou Malo, and I went like, oh man, I just jumped on stage, started playing boogie woogie, and people started applauding for me, and I went like, oh wow, I mean, what is this, you know? So I was totally hooked. Every Monday there was a session. The owner came up to me and he said, wow, maybe you want to have your own session here? I said, cool, you know, so I had my own session, and that's where it kind of started.
All right.
Malou Malo. Then there was this club called Naar Boven.
Yeah.
Which you remember, of course. That's also where Treintje started.
Right, exactly. She used to come watch us play a lot of times as well.
Who?
She came to watch us jam.
I know.
Yeah,
So, and Naar Boven, and then you had the place called the Korte Golf.
Yeah.
Which and these were all sessions in Amsterdam. And the good thing about it was like Amsterdam people are like open, very open-minded, and you can really feel that in their music too. I would say. I mean, when no offense for people from Rotterdam or Eindhoven or Utrecht, but it's a different scene. It's a different scene, and since music is a language, you can.
Right.
I mean, you can.
It's a universal language.
It is. So but there is a difference, and I cannot really tell you what the difference is. But I mean, I've been playing with Jeroen, piano player Jeroen, Michel de Schie, Jeroen Rietbergen, and it's different, but it's a nice approach. It's a different approach. It's hard to explain what it is really, but since as I said, it's a language, and we all speak that language, and it's.
Well, maybe I think my experience of working with musicians out of Amsterdam, especially also from the earlier days. I think also because Amsterdam was sort of the first place when musicians came to Europe, because they said, "Where's Amsterdam?"
Right.
A lot of it had to do because some of the guys wanted to know, but that was Holland was still, you know, Amsterdam or Holland itself was kind of a very open-minded country in general. You know, everything was possible there. You know, marijuana was legal, especially so a lot of cats from over the States.
Maybe what it is, it's more like a family. It's more a family thing. You see, because right now you have the Ladies of Soul with Candy and Treintje and Glennis and Celia, and you know, they're all from Amsterdam. They're all and it's still family. And they met each other years and years ago. And we all know each other. It's like one big happy family. I don't know how that is in Rotterdam or in other. I mean, probably they all know each other, but it's not as tight.
It's not tight. The Amsterdam scene is a very tight-knit scene, because I can tell you, like, for Antwerp, they've got a small clique of musicians, but it's not really a tight. Most of the musicians are living outside the area.
That's what it is.
And everybody in Amsterdam, they're kind of like, they're not living too far from each other. It's a regular basis that they're in contact with each other to perform, and it makes.
And then coming back to the jam sessions. I think these jam sessions took care. That was the reason why a lot of like Treintje and Candy and everyone they all went to that
those sessions, right?
sessions.
I remember, yeah.
And that's how they got together. Like, oh, that's how they formed bands.
Yeah, because Candy's dad used to always play at this one jazz club at the time.
Kroeg.
Yeah, the Kroeg that time.
Yeah.
And I remember playing there with him and Wilbur Little when he was still alive. And,
Right.
and it was like Candy, I mean, saxophone was almost as big as she was.
Citadel was there.
Citadel was there. Rosa King was still alive at that time. You know,
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
Alive and kicking.
She was. Well, she was actually, which leads to the next question. You know, I mean, Rosa King was sort of the. She kind of like triggered that whole jam session scene.
She did.
For a lot of musicians. I mean, when I first came down, one of the first musicians I worked with in the Amsterdam scene was Rosa, and she had been living here for a while, and she kind of created that family idea because all the musicians that worked with her, they were like a family. We were all her kids.
She was a school, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
she was a school. That's right.
That's
The school of Rosa. That's right. And legendary, especially among musicians, because I remember when she passed away, that was one of the biggest funerals I had ever been to. I mean, it was like people came from everywhere to her funeral. You worked with her for quite some time. I know you guys toured all through Europe and stuff. Remember that big bus she always had. And but during the time that you toured with her, you got a chance to meet with Roger Damper. That's the piano player.
Robert Damper.
Robert Damper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
From that's the piano player from
Kenny G.
From Kenny G, right?
Yes.
And I remember, I'll never forget because I remember. You were saying, man, I'm going to the States, man.
Yeah.
You were really excited because we kind of like our paths had kind of crossed in a gig somewhere.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden you went to Seattle, huh?
Seattle, Washington.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because another good friend of mine who this was jazz singer Gail Pettis. She got nominated a few years ago for a Grammy in jazz for a jazz record she would participate on. Also from Gary, But while you were there, you guys had a chance to go into the studio, and I know Lee Oscar is also from out Seattle. There's a lot of very, very good jazz session musicians in general that are living there and performing from out Seattle. It's like a second Mecca in the States for music. A lot of people don't know that, but it's a lot of good music coming out of Seattle, Washington.
Grunge music? What was it?
Grunge. Yeah.
That was what it was, right? Yeah. That was a fantastic place, and that was an adventure because, like you said, I was with Rosa for quite a long time,
right.
and we played in the Alto Jazz Cafe every Thursday, and I remember that Kenny G played in the Rai in Amsterdam with his whole band, and they just wanted to hang out, like you do when you play abroad. You just want to go hang out with musicians.
Exactly.
And Robert was the one hanging out with I think it was Bruce Carter, the drummer. He died, but he passed. But and Robert, he came up to me. He saw us playing, and I was just doing one of my songs, I think. And he came up to me after the show and he said, "Man, do you write your original tunes?" I said, "Yeah, I do write." I didn't even know who he was, and then he said, "All right, well, do you feel like co-writing with me?" I said, "Okay, where do you live?" I thought he was from Amsterdam. "No, I live in Seattle, Washington." "Okay, yeah, man, we played with Kenny G here in the Rai." I went like, "Okay, Rai, that's big.
Right.
Kenny G, even bigger." It's like, all right, Kenny G, elevator music. I wasn't not really getting into that, but
okay.
But I went like, okay, and I said, but what do you want me to do? He said, "Well, you just have to come over. I'll pay your ticket, and we just start working."
Right.
And for me, it was not even like, it was like, first was it like, okay, we're gonna go to the States.
Right.
Cool, and then Kenny G, do I have to work with him or what is it? And so I didn't even have the time to think about it. He just called and said, "Okay, ticket is there. You gotta come." Like, I think it was 3 months later.
Right.
And I stayed there for half a year, and I just wrote stuff with him. And
you commuted back and forth from Amsterdam to Seattle at one point.
Well, what it was, I stayed there for 3 months.
Okay.
And then, of course, you have to leave.
You have to come back.
You have to come back because of the 3 month deal you have.
Right.
But after that, I did another 3 months. So so it was like a half a year altogether, and I learned a lot because Americans are different, are just so much different than. Look at him laugh. Yes, no, but I mean that's like when you play with American musicians, they are a part of you. You know, I mean, so I there was a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, me on the keys, and Robert was playing keys, and they were all like there for me instead of like they were very much into okay, what do you want me to do? So well, I mean, you're a drummer, and you know what to do. No, but what do you want me to do? Okay, I've never thought about it like that because I thought like, musicians are like, you just play and you have fun and, when it feels good, it feels good. But they made me realize that they told me like, okay, I'm just a fifth of the band, with five persons.
Exactly.
I'll just give you a fifth. And so the drummer gave me a fifth, the bass player, the guitar player, the Robert. So we were all like, different parts and we made one big part. And I have to admit, like Dutch people, they always want to show off a little bit, like look what I can do. Look what I can do, and I'm more into. No, I don't want to see what you can do. I just want to see if you feel it, and I have to feel it. Whatever you play, if I feel it, man, I believe you. Even if you sing flat or like Rosa sometimes had this thing like with her saxophone. And she could blow like a little flat, like and we were all tuned on 440 scale,
right.
And she was tuned on a 436 or something. But it was like always like that. So I told the guys, like, why don't we just tune our all our instruments to 436? Exactly. Then we're in tune with Rose.
Right.
And not the other way around.
Yeah,
and that worked out. So I mean, Rosa was somebody you could really feel.
Right.
When she sang. So that was a very important thing I learned from the States, from being in Seattle.
Right.
And next question.
Well, listen, man. When you were at a young age, you quit high school to join.
I was expelled.
You were expelled. On your website, it's.
Of course,
a little bit nicer, but all right, man. But you joined a musical theater group, the
Malcolms.
The Malcolms, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a pretty tough decision if you have to leave high school and you take a chance like that and you go on tour. Were you confident enough that you were going to make it as a musician, or did you have maybe a backup plan, or did you have a plan in mind how to do it?
No. I was 4 when I started playing piano. I was 6 when I started playing my first song called "In the Summer," and meeting this little mouse and stuff like that. But I don't know what it was, but I'm completely self-taught. So I just started playing piano. And my father, like I said, he was a director of a well-known record company that time. So he took records home, and he was listening to Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, the soul, but also the blues and jazz and stuff. So I just, as a kid, listened to that music.
So you picked it up.
I picked it up.
Became part. And got it injected in your veins.
We had a piano, and I kind of like heard the relation between whatever I heard from the speakers and my piano. So I'm like, okay, so. I even played classical stuff. I didn't, but it was all like I just listened to it. It was music. I listened to it, and so that kept me busy for like until I was like 18, and I had to make this choice. And my mother and my father, they wanted me to have my exam and my how do you call it? Right. And but I was just. Then I thought, okay, well, suppose I have this ticket for like for whatever job was coming. I knew I was going to be a musician. I was just totally confident about it.
Right.
And I remember this day I came back from school, and I told my mom. I said, "Well, Mom, I think they threw me off from school." And she said, "Why?" Well, I said, "Well, I had like 3 weeks off. I mean, I didn't show up at school.
Didn't show up, yeah.
Because I was like really concentrating on my
On your music?
not really that, but no, driving license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I had to drive to the gigs, right? And that was more important
That's
than my
kind
exams.
of a plan, you know.
Yeah.
He
really,
walks alone.
I was already making my plans, and,
Yeah.
and of course I had my parents were like, "What?" You know, they well, I mean, but somehow they knew I was going to make this decision, and then I joined up with this band,
The Malcolms.
The Malcolms.
Yeah.
All right.
A theatrical band. The lead singer was a guitar player. His name is Rod Battle. He used to play in the film The Wall from Pink
yeah,
Floyd.
wow.
Right.
And he was very humoristic guy, like and very charming guy. And he his girlfriend was the mother of my girlfriend.
Okay.
That time. Yeah, right. So I was like, 18 years joining a band from guys who were like 35, 40s,
Yeah,
you know.
Right.
And he called me today's superstar, tomorrow's social problem. That was who
That's a nice line, yeah.
yeah.
That's a good line, man.
That's a good line.
That's a
And-
song in there, man.
Yeah. And we had I toured with them for half a year in Germany.
Right.
I came back with money, so I told I told my parents, like, here, guilders,
out,
money.
yeah.
No, marks that time, because look, I got money, and so they kind of like changed their mind. They said, well, maybe he is a musician.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a musician.
I bet parents do that. I mean, I went through that with my parents as well. I came to Europe, came to Holland to actually study, one thing, and the next thing I knew was calling my parents and say, listen, I decided I'm going to stop with the study, became a musician.
Right.
Never look back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have any regrets about it. I mean,
No.
I would do the same thing again if I was in the same position.
Same here. Oh yeah.
So,
And you've always been more like, in a live situation. You've never been a teacher or
A teacher.
a teacher, a music
I
teacher.
do
or,
teach.
Oh, you do teach?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I do teach now for like 10 years, I think.
All right.
But I mean, it's hard to teach someone piano or sing, because nobody taught me. So
Right.
I'm completely self-taught. So there's a lot of people came up to me and said, but what can you teach me? I said, well, I can teach you how to listen to music, or how to improvise. And so there are musicians, they come to me and they say, well, okay, there's this wall I walk against. Or can you say that?
Yeah. Go on with it, sure.
And it's like, I don't know what to do with this song, or I don't know how, are there different things I can do on piano, because this is what they taught me, but what can you teach me? And then, at that point for me, that's my I think that would be my strongest point. Like, well, you could do this, or you can play it like that, or you can sing it like this, or you can sing it like that. So, I try to open people's mind, or
Give
more,
the improvisers more, yeah.
well, give
Exactly.
them more to their vocabulary.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean, right? And that works. And that's a nice way of teaching, because
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
I
about the
learn-
essence, actually.
Yeah.
It
right?
is, and I learn from them. They learn from me. The only thing is, so I'm a vocal coach and I'm a piano coach. I wouldn't say I'm a teacher, but I coach them more.
Yeah.
And it works for a lot of people. I have people from musicals, and of course they are very like, it has to be, the song has to be from A to Z. From A to Z, it has to be like this.
Right.
But once you sing a different line, they go like, oh no,
Yeah,
it's like
they freak, yeah.
they freak out. and there was this guy, an Australian guy, and he said, man, when I see you doing your sessions, you sing about this and that, and then sometimes you just switch to another song. How do you do that? I want to do that too. I said, okay, well, I'm willing to teach you that, but you know, it will be tough because you know you are very used to that, you know,
the structure.
right? And he said, well, I'm willing to learn. So I took him a couple of times to my sessions, and he was like nervous, man. He was like, you know, shitting in his pants almost. He was like that nervous. But he, you know, I told him like, you know, you should. What I'm gonna teach you is like learn. First, I told him like, okay, learn to sing the song "Hello" from Lionel Richie. So he sang that song from A to Z,
right?
Totally like the way it was with all the breath things.
Right.
And now I said, okay, now we rewrite the song. I'm gonna play "Hello" again, but a totally different scale, different chords. But you have to sing "Hello." He said, yeah, but that's impossible. I said, no, that's not impossible. You just sing it differently. Yeah, but how? So I started like, well, instead of singing, I've been alone with you inside, you know how. Why don't you just start with, I've been alone with you inside my mind, or whatever, you know. Whoa, no, that's way too far. No, you can try. Okay. I've been alone. He started like, anyway, we ended up like, you know, he felt comfortable in that. Because I told him, you just have to tell the story different. You know, I just want to hear a different story.
Put your interpretation
and give it your autograph instead of Lionel Richie's autograph. And that's what I like from musicians. If they, you're very able to do that. I know that from you.
Yeah, well, I'm also
capable of doing that.
Self-taught musician.
That's what I mean. So that little part I want to give from myself to someone else who wants to, you know, who wants.
You're the same in the coaching as in the life. Your performances,
right?
I mean, that's exactly what you do. So
that
you pass it on.
Yeah,
it's a straight line.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
amazing.
That's the message I think and that's coming back to making music. I mean, it's the language you speak,
right? And
you just wanna. I love playing with audiences. You know, and that's why I love it when the band plays in a middle part, like that's the session I did in the Panama in Amsterdam, and I wanted to have the band in the middle, just in the middle in a circle, and I wanted the audience around it, you know, for them to be
part of the whole nucleus.
But also for the interaction.
Exactly.
You know, look at my, you know, I'm the cook. You're in my kitchen. You can see what I make. You know, this is, and you're all my ingredients. And you know, let's see how tasty and how hot the song can be, or you know, spicy and that's nice because in a way you're not even teaching musicians, but you're also teaching your audience.
Exactly.
And it's a different approach, but it's nice because you know you give the audience the possibility to be part of your.
Well, they get to participate in the whole menu, and,
right?
And that's what makes the meal complete.
That's it, and that's what it. Yeah, that's what it makes. Yeah.
Before we go, buddy, I want to ask you. We always ask the musicians, you know, if they've had a kind of funny or strange or awkward experience in their career. I'm sure you've had some, just like most of us have. Is there something you want to share with us about one of those experiences?
Absolutely. There was one experience that really blew me off. I was totally okay. Well, this was picture this. Okay,
all right.
Paris. Beautiful day, Paris, and we were playing in Duc de Lombard, and that was a very well-known jazz club, with Rosa King, of course.
Was that the one? Is that the one in this like you go down and there's one of these old cellar?
No. I remember. I know that one.
Yeah.
No, this was Duc de Lombard.
Because we were there with that time with Steve with the.
You went with us to Paris once, I think.
Yeah, I was there once with you guys as well.
I think. Yeah. Anyway. We were doing Rosa King's favorite song, Georgia,
right?
Because he was from Macon, Georgia.
That's right. Yeah.
And we always had a blast in that place. And anyway, she was singing this song like really beautiful, and she had a microphone in her hand. She was like, Georgia. Oh, you know how she sang it.
Yeah.
It's an old sweet song. keeps charging on my mind. Well, she was at a certain point. We came at a point that the guitar player had to take the solo, right?
Right.
And just before she wanted to give him the solo, the cable of the microphone flipped off the microphone and fell on the floor. But that was okay,
Yeah,
you know.
that
Fell
happens.
down,
That can
and she
happen.
was just looking at the guitar player and said, "Solo." So she was like busy getting this cable, and Stefan Jankowski, the guitar player, was like really getting into his solo, and she was like, "Okay," and she was trying to get this cable in, right? And I was playing piano, and I was just looking at her. I was just looking at what she was doing, you know, because she could sometimes she has this like, and she was like just trying to get this thing back in the microphone, but I saw that it didn't work, you know. She was like, okay, but Stefan was ready with his solo, so he looked at her like, I'm ready, you know, and she was still busy with his cable. Now guess what she did? This is what she did. So while she was fetching this cable into this microphone, she was walking towards the microphone stand, and she was singing in the microphone stand with the microphone here in her hand. But can you imagine? I was looking, and
I can picture her doing it.
I was looking like, so I had to laugh so hard, and she said, "Roger, shut up! I couldn't even play. I was like, under my piano, I was playing like this. I was like, can you imagine? In the microphone holder.
Oh,
Georgia, fetching this thing.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, listen, man. it's always a bunch of laughs whenever we get together, man. And we really enjoyed having you on the show. And I want to thank you for coming out, you know, and being here. And if all our viewers and listeners, if you want to know more about Roger, please go on our Facebook page, the Rhythm Factory Podcast, or you can send us an email at the Rhythm Factory Podcast at gmail.com. Also, all of our interviews and shows are on YouTube, of course, and please subscribe and click like, because we would appreciate that. And the more, the merrier. And we want to, once again, thanks to Roger and our camera crew, and also to our promotion crew. And I want to thank my co-host, Mr.
Welcome,
Peter D. Yeah, my name is Eddie C. And we want to leave you with these words, and that is, music is the universal language, no matter where you are. Take care. See you next time. Ciao.